Hello again and welcome to another installment of me reading through Super Sentai vs Super Sentai Nova. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different in hinting at the reveal of who our guest to this week is. New addition to this week is, as you can see by the photo I've chosen, and here's another bit of a hint.
妖怪エネルギーを封印していた扉が開けられ、妖怪軍団が地上に現れた。妖怪軍団から人々を守るため、忍者の血を受け継いだ5人の若者が忍者戦隊カグレンジャーズとして戦った。忍者合体して現れる無敵将軍は燃える炎の剣火炎将軍剣の一撃で巨大妖怪を倒すぞ。
To the requisite video clip. Anyway, I put the picture of our new member up, and now we continue with Chapter 4. So there is a ninja in the Devil Forest. Author's note, here we go again. Hopefully this chapter just doesn't generate some unfortunate implications. What does he hope it'll generate? And now it's time for the music part. Taku, otherwise known as the Red Mask, seemingly was thrown into a future after a year defeating the Tube Empire. You think about 1 year after? He was thrown into a bizarre world where he met Super Sentai warriors of the future, all according to a book, History of Super Sentai. Tamazu Hoji, aka Deca Blue of the Deca Rangers, and Mei, aka Terra Ranger of the Jew Rangers. With the two lending him a hand, Taku aimed to uncover the mystery behind this bizarre world. Chapter 4. Sarah's a ninja in the Devil Forest. Driving the car lent by the Deca base, Takeru drove towards a forest while driving through a mountain. Literally through it, or as a pathway to the next city was there. Signboard was blurry, so he did not know which city would be headed. This would be a 2 there, but he had no choice. There was no other choice. That sentence wasn't necessary. While he drove, his thought was also directed to the mysterious book, History of the Super Sentai. Wait, it wasn't a there before. Why does the book appear in front of me all of a sudden? To be a sudden, Takeru thought, recalling how he found the book right after he was separated from Momoko. Did it have to do with how his world came into? As to be being there, slightly taking a look at on his new friends, Hoji, who sat next to him, silently facing forward. Or he let Takeru drive since he's more familiar in driving a motorcycle. And sitting behind was Mei, who was looking at a white hairband with a pink flower attached on it and trying to grip it on my head. Why is there an ellipsis there? If this meeting with these two are not coincidental either, I don't think that R was necessary. Takeru! Mei suddenly broke the silence, calling him. She showed the hairband, now perfectly put on her hair. How do I look? Oh, yeah, Takeru nodded with a smile. You look cute on that. Really? Mei was happy to hear it. I knew I bought the right one before we left. Yeah, and you were using my money for that, Hoji said sarcastically. Why did I agree to lend that money anyway? Oh, come on, Hoji, that's not really expensive, right? Mei insisted. And again, forgive me for being unable to resist, it's just so adorable. Adorable? Here, Hoji said with a snark tone on his voice. So might be a snarky tone in his voice. Sometimes an adorable look can be fooling. Eh? Both Takeru and Mei were shocked hearing that. Okay, maybe I went too far. Hoji then retracted the words that what he said next wasn't nicer. What I'm saying is that I haven't really trusted you. See, that's why you use an ellipsis. What? Mei was saddened hearing it, but we were able to fight together. That one I can accept, Hoji continued, but I still can't believe about your history. Humans living together with dinosaurs? Pure bull. Humans weren't even supposed to evolve into its most basic form, let alone gain intelligence like you, when dinosaurs roam the land. But I was telling the truth. Mei still insisted. We lived together. The reason why Bandora declared war on humanity was because her son died being chased by dinosaurs. If you ask me, he had that coming. You wouldn't be fighting her if we weren't living with the dinosaurs. Bandora? Takeru asked before he tried his luck in guessing. Let me guess, is she your enemy? How did you know? May asked, confirming that Taku get it right. Well, I had my sources, Taku answered, hiding out his history of Super Sentai book. 1, there shouldn't be an about there, and 2, how is it a guess if you've literally read it in a book? It's not a guess, it's the right answer. That's not a good enough proof, Hoji said coldly. Do you take me as an idiot, or are you crazy? How am I going to believe that humans do live with dinosaurs when only one woman says so? Prove it to me. Crazy? Hoji, you seriously thought I'm crazy? He didn't thought it, he is thinking it, May asked sadly. I look like someone who's lying. This prompted Hoji to look behind and faced May. She did look sad, as if insisting that she's telling the truth. However, there were many criminals who would fake a pitiful face to receive forgiveness only for them to repeat their crime again. Is he comparing her to a criminal now? May might not be a criminal, but Hoji couldn't bring himself to trust her just like that, especially since they just met. Oh, I get it. She's not his eyebrow. Oh, you still had a long way to go if you want to earn my trust. Have, not had, Hoji said before turning back to face forward, leaving a dejected May to lean her back to the chair in disappointment. Hoji, you're cruel, she thought. However, she hadn't lost hope yet, thus she asked Taku about it. Taku, what about you? Do you think I'm lying? Well, Taku tried to answer while driving. Tell you the truth, your story might be a bit too grand to believe like that. Hearing that, May was disappointed even further. She thought that not only Hoji but Takeru did not believe her either. He didn't say he didn't believe her, he just said it was pretty far-fetched. She felt she didn't quite belong to the team. But, well, Takeru tried to finish his sentence until he looked forward and suddenly realised the sky has been getting dark. Is it time already? Well, Hoji said, looking at the clock on his watch. Is this supposed to be 7 p.m? Man, time sure passed. What? Takeru suddenly saw a figure in front of the car. Into the darkness of the sky, he couldn't get a clear glimpse of who was standing in front of the car, but it was enough to shock Takeru, and he instinctively spun the wheels so fiercely that eventually the car smashed a nearby tree. Ah, what was that? Takeru could see got out of the car along with the rest. He tried to look for a figure who blocked his way, but he couldn't be seen. Wait, now what do we do? It's too dark to walk further. Only the stars provided what little sight they could have, but it was too dangerous for him to go on further. Slightly redundant, and there's no full stop. Well, looks like that would come in handy, Hoji said as he headed to the car's baggage at the back. Opening it, he pulled out some sleeping bag. Only one sleeping bag. Looks like we have no choice but to make a camp for now. Well, it'll be better than nothing, I suppose. Takeru nodded. We're gonna need woods for a fire. These woods look usable. May pointed to several woods located near a tree. Slightly awkward, it doesn't need to be an S there. She moved and picked up the woods, gathering it near the car. Putting out a lighter. That means he doused the flame rather than created one. Hoji burnt the wood, therefore creating her own campfire. Hoji starts a forest fire. You read it here first. Well, better than nothing. Hoji says he handed down several canned food he picked up from the car. It was like the Decker-based crews prepared the items for survival in dangerous places. Eat up. Right, thanks Hoji, Takeru says. He opened the can. Contained rice with eggs, meats and carrots. We're eating. We're free ate. Characters are just narrating their lives now. This tastes good, even if it's canned. Made comment after she eventually finished. I guess the author has something against canned food. Yeah, just remember there'll be no such luxury tomorrow, Hoji said. We ran out of food, so tomorrow we're gonna have to find our own. Well, you can count on me for that, Ben, Takeru says, eventually yawn. But for now, we'd better sleep. Gotta save our strength up for tomorrow's breakfast and find a way out of this forest. Unlike Takeru and Hoji, May's experience as a warrior enabled her to sense something they couldn't. She could sense an evil spirit dwelling nearby, but she couldn't determine what kind of spirit. Guys, I think we're not in a normal forest. What now? Hoji sounded slightly annoyed, thinking that he'd be fed with lies again. Well, something's wrong with this forest, she started. It's like there's an evil spirit lurking in this forest. Yeah? Well, let me tell you that I am a crocodile demon in disguise. Haha, Kaku. His secondary villain was a crocodile demon. Hoji suddenly gave a rather snarky comment. Eh? May was shocked to hear what Hoji just said, so she realised what's going on. That was a joke, right? Same like how I was going to ask about your statement. That was a lie too, right? He said. Oh gee, May shouted, completely annoyed him. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not lying about my past? You know what, I have friends in the timeline. Okay, I'll be blunt, Hoji said. I will acknowledge that you and Maju Rangers saved the Earth from the past. Still, I am not buying with any of your story about you living with the dinosaurs. Best I can come up with is you live with dinosaur-like creatures, not like dinosaurs that lived in the actual prehistoric era, but you're calling them dinosaurs. Just admit that. Liar. I am not a liar, May insisted. I was born in a prehistoric age. Cut it out, Hoji yelled at her. I don't like those who obviously is lying, but keep insisting that they know the truth. Have you ever read an actual history book? Could you two keep it down? Taku suddenly yelled, getting up from his sleep. I'm trying to get some sleep here. Ah, jeez, talking with you is like talking with a rock. May gave up and got on her sleeping bag and said in annoyance, I'm going to sleep. Fine, it's useless to talk to blatant liars anyway, Hoji said as he also retired to his sleeping bag and closed his eyes, slowly falling asleep. On the other hand, May was completely irritated at Hoji's attitude as he tried to sleep, slowly and quietly muttering something from her mouth. Hoji, you jerk! You say I thought I learned about history was a total lie? That's just ridiculous. Humans living together with dinosaurs? Pure bull. Humans weren't even supposed to evolve to its most basic form. Was slightly awkwardly worded, let alone gain intelligence like you when dinosaurs roam the land. Do you take me as an idiot, or are you crazy? How am I going to believe that humans do live with dinosaurs? They don't anymore, they all died. And only one woman says so. Prove it to me. You still had a long way to go if you want to earn my trust. Tell you the truth, your story might be a bit too grand to believe like that. I'm not a liar! Please, won't anybody believe me? Ah! In a sudden, May bolted out from her sleep, grasping heavily. She just had a nightmare, reliving all the distrust that has been thrown to her from Hoji. On the other hand, she thought Taku did not believe her as well. That's not on the other hand, that's on the same hand. And to take it, May got up and snuck away from the two sleeping boys. I can't sleep like this. Maybe I should take a walk or something. She thought she ventured to the dark forest, leaving the boys in their sleep. The night was rather quiet. It was quite a peaceful, albeit slightly cold night. However, May was able to enjoy the night breeze, the stars shining and acting like lights. I wonder what kind of forest is this, she thought as she kept walking. She was clearly thinking much better, trying to forget on the accusations thrown to her. Something that we forget about, though she also tried thinking of how to convince them what she said was the truth. Until she suddenly heard a croak and felt like something was stomping on her feet. When she looked down, she couldn't really see what's on her feet, but she saw what it was like. A frog. Gah! May screamed and kicked away. Even though she was a brave warrior, she's still like a normal teenage girl, having fears to things like frogs. Simply fears of things. However, that scream was the turning point for May. At that point, the evil spirit she felt before could be felt coming in stronger. Where? May looked around, trying to sense the evil spirit more, until she heard the trees' leaves moving. She got a glimpse of a figure running, a similar figure that appeared in front of Taku's car and caused it to crash. Shouldn't it be the same figure? Wait! Thinking it might be the source of the evil spirit, May gave chase to the figure, but she couldn't catch up. Too quick, May says. He stopped, catching her breath. Just then she realised that she was standing in front of a stairway with a lamp nearby. Who lived here? She muttered as she walked up the stairs, leading to a rather large field with a small house nearby. When she walked forward, the hut's door opened and an elderly woman appeared. Ah, I never thought I'd meet a visitor here, the old woman said. Are you lost here, young girl? Lost? Granny, I'm not really lost. May tried to excuse herself, the old woman continued. It's a normal occurrence. Because of this forest, I've had many visitors spending a night here because they're lost. This forest? What's a this forest but it has so many lost people? Oh, May asked again, uncertain why the old woman insisting on lost people. There's a was missing there. This forest is a labyrinth, the old woman said. Her words shocked May as she realised that it would mean that she, Taku and Hoji were trapped in a labyrinth. While she was shocked at the revelation, the old woman continued. The yokai Onibaba has cursed this forest. Until she is dead, nobody can leave this forest. Yokai Onibaba? May was unfamiliar with the term yokai. She heard it's Japanese ghost, different from a Dora monster she fought before, but she never thought she'd be dealing with one later. Do you know where she is and what she does? only tried to defeat her and lift the curse of this forest. Ah, you're a feisty and brave one, aren't you? The old woman smiled, surprised at May's bravery. Very well, come inside. I will tell you what she could do. Nodding, May followed the old woman to enter the house. However, when she entered the house, she was shocked beyond reason. The house's small lobby only consisted of a couch to sit down at the centre. That should be a couch. Surrounding it before 2 moves behind it, however, were human skulls. Not sure what you're trying to say there, as if they were eaten and only left with bones lacking flesh. What are these? May said in a slight fright at witnessing such horrific eyeing scenery. Oh, those? The old woman said nonchalantly. Those are my food, or rather, what remains of it. Hee hee. What? May was shocked on hearing how the old woman said that. She moved her hands in a bizarre way. Suddenly a puff of smoke. The old woman vanished. Instead, a rather decrepit, goblin-like woman in rags with wild hair, sharp nails, and teeth in their place. You actually... Yes, my sweet child. I am that Oni Baba, woman said, revealing her sharp claws, which were already visible, and showing a picture on a wall depicting an ancient picture of a sitting goblin-like woman, which she apparently has. I am a yokai with an ability to disguise myself as someone I wish, but I prefer decrepit old ladies, so they won't suspect me much. My hobby is to feast on humans, especially virgins, male or female, it doesn't matter. And now, you're going to be the 100th virgin that I shall eat. So these skulls belong to the unfortunate virgins that you ate? May said angrily, knowing that she's been tricked. Fortunate maybe, but they don't come here by accident, Oni Baba said. I disguise myself as a human peddler that sells my victims' items out to make them inevitably head to this forest. Male or female, it doesn't matter. Once they buy my item, they would get themselves here, and I would cook and eat them. Hearing about the buying part, May suddenly remembered the headband she just bought. In short, she didn't realise that the headband Ella was only Baba, and she was being lured to the forest labyrinth, dragging Taku and Hoji along. That sounds a bit... It contrived, but whatever. And you know, I'm really happy, because for the 100th virgin, it's someone special like you. Oni Baba chuckled eerily. I can sense something special within you, my sweet child. This is going to be a feast. Before she could speak any further, she didn't realise that May had been pulling her arrow, trying to shoot her. She managed to dodge in time when May attempted to shoot her stomach. Unforgivable, May uttered angrily. Maybe you're not a Doremons, but to lure other innocent humans to their deaths like that, against their will, I will not forgive you. Did you think you can defeat me? Oni Baba said as he snapped her fingers. Come on, Doros! In a sudden, May found herself surrounded with a new kind of foot soldiers. These foot soldiers were clad in blue suit, and had a rather haunting yet funny mask that was usually worn by those who were looking for a cheap way to imitate the Grim Reaper itself. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and play a different music here. But she's not fooled Basilian's soldiers' appearances. I want you all to restrain her alive! As Oni Baba commanded, the soldiers quickly jumped, trying to put May down. However, she quickly leapt to the other side and started fighting her way out, trying to get out of the house immediately. I have to get out of here! May found herself concerned with her two friends as she fought her way through the ways of Duros until she eventually reached the door. Then she remembered that they didn't trust her. However, she clearly felt better for one thing. If they end up getting lost, I'll know how to make them trust me. I'll take them here and we'll defeat the monster together, get out of here, and they'll finally believe that I'm no liar. I don't know how that will affect you, a chance of taking you seriously, but what do I know? Oh, you're a feisty one, and I hate to say it, but your voice is getting on my nerves. Oni Baba said she was already blocking May's path outside the door. For an old woman, she could move fast. It's gratingly high-pitched. What's wrong? What's wrong with having a high-pitched voice? May was annoyed hearing it, since nobody ever said that her voice was grating, but she managed to return the words with an equally witty comment. Or perhaps you're jealous that your voice sounded so decrepit. Oh, shut up! Oni Baba replied. She eventually snapped her finger, gathering the remaining Doros to her. Now witness the skill of Oni Baba. As she stepped back, she pulled a bottle containing a dark liquid. She then poured it on the Doros, and in a sudden, they were moving in pain, as if having seizures. May was shocked at what the liquid did, turned the otherwise silly-looking soldier into hulking ogre-like creatures with one horn on their head. Face the army of mighty Oni! Oni Baba boasted, introducing the new four soldiers. The Oni began attacking Mei. However, they were rather slow, but Mei was able to dodge most of their attacks. However, her attacks were so strong that one punch to the ground would create a line of ground craters due to the impact their punch, or take down huge trees in a single strike. Well, let's just be glad that Daimao and Junior never had access to Oni Baba, otherwise the Kakarins would have been screwed. While dodging, Mei managed to use some of her arrows to shoot down the heels of the Oni soldiers, which made them keel over in pain, revealing a mark on the back of its head. When she shot at that, the Oni was obliterated. Or maybe not. That's it! All I have to do is attack their heel from behind and then shoot the mark behind their heads. Mei thought until she realised one thing. She ran out of normal arrows. Well, looks like I'll have to do it then. Mei then grabbed her Dino book and prepared to transform. Dino book! Unfortunately for her, before she could finish the incantation, the Oni Baba moved right in front of her face and suddenly threw a bunch of sand onto her eyes. Ah, my eyes! Mei ended up cancelling her transformation and her sight was disrupted. And Oni took advantage of this and punched her from behind, though not so much as going with full power, because it was powerful enough that the impact caused from it and smashing the ground caused Mei to lose her consciousness. When Mei regained her consciousness, she realised that she was back in the house, lying down on the ground. Since she didn't recognise further other than the house's lobby, she realised she might be inside one room behind her. She tried to mutter something as her head still ached. When such voice came out, and she realised that her mouth has been gagged. Only Baba probably gagged her because she's annoyed at her voice. Not only that, she found out that her arms were bent behind her back and tied with a string of strong ropes. The same were applied to her legs and ankles as well as her body, binding her arms and body together and pretty much prevented her from a loss of free movement. What did they do to me? And while she struggled, the ropes seemed to bind her even tighter. There certainly was some sort of evil energy on the ropes that bound her, and she didn't know the secret behind it. Looking around, Mei noticed that there were quite a lot of food, one window behind it. First she assumed that she's locked inside the storeroom. Suddenly remembered what the Oni Baba said. You're going to be the 100th virgin that I'll eat. She didn't know why the Oni Baba chose to leave her bound and gagged inside of the storeroom instead of eating her immediately. She probably just needed to set the oven. The best reasons he could think of is that the yokai just ate and was too full, thus preferred to wait until morning and consume her for breakfast. Or she read the villain's guide to screwing up your own plan. Why am I thinking like that? I have to get out of here before she eats me. She then looked around trying to find a knife nearby. She found one on looking at a platform hanging on a wall along with a weird device that she did not recognise. But at any rate, she couldn't reach the platform even if she stood still due to her bound hands. As a result, she took a sitting position, slowly moved near the wall with all the restraints put on her and started kicking the wall, hoping that it would shake the platform enough so a knife would be dropped. However, while she was kicking the wall, she heard an unnatural hiss. Its feathers started to gather around Mei, hoping that it's not what she thought it was. As she turned behind to where the hiss came from. She let out a muffled scream, witnessing what's approaching her. Two snakes coming from a hole from a wall. So it might be a hole in a wall. Well, they're not the venomous types, but the restricting ones. But snakes are still snakes, and Mei looked hungry enough and set their sights on her. Frightened, Mei tried to call to the corner of the room as the snakes slithered forward. Mei tried to scream so he could stay away from her, but snakes won't understand human languages, let alone gagged ones, unless they're trained. No matter how hard Mei struggled and tried to get away, she couldn't prevent the snakes to enjoy their dinner. So I am their dinner, not hers. Bad snakes! Suddenly the Oni Baba entered the room and grabbed both snakes with her hands, apparently annoyed enough. This is supposed to be my food, get your own! In fact, I know where you'd find two good foods. Two young men sleeping, unaware of my presence, but I don't really care about them, so you can have them. Find them, they should still be around this forest. But the Oni Baba tossed the two snakes out of the window, and he was shocked hearing it. The yokai knew the presence of Takaru and Hoji, seemed to be know of the presence of. If that was the case, then they're in a big trouble, as is unnecessary. If the snakes eat them when they're asleep. She tried to ask the Oni Baba on what she had in plan for the two, in mind, but since her mouth was gagged, nothing coherent came out. Just then, she suddenly moved near a platform she's trying to drop and picked up the knife that she's been trying to drop. bit redundant. Ah, there it is. I need to cut something off, May said only Baba said nonchalantly before she looked into May. I know you've been trying to knock it off, but now you can do no more. Just stay put like a good girl and await the end of your life tomorrow. Well, I wonder how tasty you'd be tomorrow. As the only Baba left, May felt completely hopeless. Her only means to escape was taken away, and she couldn't do anything as two predatory creatures were sent out to eat her two friends who were unaware of what happened. In frustration, she let out a muffled scream as she incoherently struggled through her bonds in vain, even though it ended up tightening the bonds. I shouldn't have bought that, she thought. She remembered the reason why she was here was because of the cute hairband that she bought and was currently wearing. Slightly incoherent, but I get what he's saying. She didn't think it would spell doom to them all, with both her friends about to be eaten, and her captured to be eaten by an unknown enemy. I'm sorry, Takaru. I'm sorry, Hoji. However, in the same time, she might be at the outskirts of the house. The figure that May was chasing was still running around the forest. Damn, where is she? The figure, who was male, uttered a perfectly English phrase, looking around. Just then he heard another hiss. Hiding behind the trees, he saw the two snakes slithering to a direction. It's both snakes, which means after the snakes were out of his sight, the figure ran to the direction where the snake came from. And she found the same stairway and lamp that May came across. Walking up to the stairs, the figure eventually came upon the house. Found you, he uttered again in English. Trying to sneak to the house without being noticed, the figure silently walked and took a peek through the windows. He saw the only Baba soundly sleeping, but he wouldn't want to risk waking her up, and he found nothing of interest there. So he snuck to the back of the house, which is a storeroom. Okay, here we go. With that, the figure slowly reached a window and entered the storeroom. The stench of the food became rather strong for his mouth. Just then, when he tried to walk, he felt like his feet tripped onto something and he fell to the ground. Oh no! He tried to yell "oh no" in English, but managed to stop himself in a nick of time. Instead, concentrated all his might to his pointing fingers, making them the only one that touched the ground, thus not making a sound. The only one what? He then heard a muffled girl's voice, and when he finally managed to get up, he saw May, first asleep, but the man tripped on her legs. She was confused, looking at the man, who looked like dressed in a black ninja garb. It didn't look like he was dressed. Hey, you okay? She did this to you, didn't she? The man asked. He moved a gag on May's mouth. What? First thing May asked was asking what he was saying, since he's not quite familiar with the actual English language. You alright? She did this to you, didn't she? The man coughed up a bit before speaking in Japanese, being that he could speak in such language. She? May asked in a low voice. Since he knew the yokai was leaving. You mean that only Baba? I knew it. Finally, I found where she is, the man said. Is she saying she's going to eat you? How did you know about that? May asked before she thought something else was sobbing. Wait, don't tell me you had a relative eaten by her? No, I'm hunting her. She told something for me to prevent me destroying her, the man said. Who are you then? May asked. I am called May. I am Jiraiya. The man finally introduced himself, but suddenly felt like he had trouble in speaking further. I hunt yokai. He came up based on some sort of comic he read back then. May felt like he's hiding something, but he chose not to pursue it further. Anyway, Jiraiya continued, I'm looking for my Doron device. That's what she stole from me. Is it something square and metallic? With some old colour? May asked. Where? Jiraiya said, looking around. Up there, May said, looking upwards to the platform where the knife was previously located. And when Jiraiya looked, his face turned bright. Oh yes, this is it, he said as he picked it up and replaced it with something else. Thank you. Of course, May replied, but suddenly remembered something. Jiraiya says, can I ask you a favour? May started. Do you see two big snakes slithering outside? That? Yeah, Jiraiya nodded. That's why I could find my place here. Please follow those snakes, May pleaded. Her face showed worry. Those snakes are trying to eat my friends. Please, you've got to save them. Okay, but first, Jiraiya says she approached May. Apparently he's a girl now. Trying to untie it, but she suddenly backed away. Don't! Why not? Jiraiya asked. If I leave you tied up here, you might not be able to escape her. I'll be fine, May tried to reassure her. Yep, Jiraiya is now a girl. I still have time until morning comes. I'll think of something until that time. My friends, if left be the red, I'll even survive the night. Please, you've got to hurry. Don't worry about me. Okay, I'm going to be stopping recording here while I look for the appropriate music. I found it. Jiraiya finally agreed to leave May like that and prepared to exit through the window. Alright. Gave one last look to May as if telling her that I'd be back with her friends to save her. She only nodded in confirmation. As Jiraiya left, May realised that she must not drown herself in hopelessness and despair. As her previous friend taught her, she must never give up. Then she realised that the ropes that tied her have loosened her a little. Huh? She thought, slowly moving her body. It was true, she felt like it wasn't binding her as tight as before. How did this happen? Even the energy surrounding the rope seemed less powerful. Trying to remember what she did back then, May finally figured out what's going on with the rope and decided to give it a shot. As he exited the house, Jiraiya went back to a place where he spotted the snakes. Using the trails and their living bodies, he managed to find out where they're headed and follow them. Her friends. I wonder if she's like me. He remembered his last tale from the previous year, being a member of the Team Kaku Ranger, led by the Kunoichi Tsuruhime and assisted with 3 other ninjas, Sasuke, Saizo and Seikai. Together they managed to steal the Lord of Yokai's Daimao at cost of their transformation devices, the Dawn Ranger, which he just retrieved. At that moment they were living together like a family, running a crepe stand that was profitable enough for them to live. Dawn Change was supposed to become one with a new steel. Over a year after seeing Daimao, a weird quake happened and Jiraiya ended up separated with the rest of the Kaka Rangers. Something to be separated from. Wandering around trying to locate his friend, he ended up stumbling upon the sealing gate. It was then he found out that one of the Dawn Changes that became a gate seal was missing. And it was his. Dun dun dun. Knowing that such a thing would allow the evil influence of yokai to spread to the world, even if it's just a little, Jiraiya swore to recover his Dawn Changer and seal the gate completely again. Eventually he found out that the Dawn Changer was stolen by the yokai Onibaba. Jiraiya confronted her, but she managed to escape when he was also attacked by a mysterious foe he had never seen. In fact, he changed his mind. Boy would use the Dawn Changer to seal the gate. He used it to fight against new evil that assisted the yokai. And now he just recovered it. Gah! A scream of 2 men eventually caught Jiraiya's attention. Jumping through trees, he went to the location where the screams came from. Indeed, he found Taku and Hoji constricted with the 2 snakes as they tried to consume them. Damn it, it's too tight and strong. Takaru said, struggling with the snake's constriction, but even he couldn't do anything. He couldn't even focus on his aura power to break free. Get off me! Hoji didn't fare any better, or rather he was worse, as the snake had completely had him under control and was just opening its mouth, trying to insert him onto its body. God damn it! Hey! Suddenly Jiraiya leapt, catching Taku and Hoji's attention before he threw several shurikens directed to the snakes. Hit with the shuriken, the snakes hissed in pain and ended up releasing Taku and Hoji. It eventually morphed into 2 Oni. Whoa! Hoji uttered. The snake turned into a bipedal monster. Our strength has been drained so much from that constricting. Taku said, catching his breath as both Oni approached the 2 boys. Wherever the 2 Oni were also hit with 2 shurikens on their heel. Then was slashed on the back of the head by Jiraiya, who already appeared behind them. Made it. You guys okay? Thanks, but who are you? Taku asked. A ninja? For real? Hoji noticed he looked at Jiraiya's ninja garb. My name is Jiraiya. Jiraiya introduced himself, which also shocked Taku. Realizing his fate also matched the Jiraiya listed in a book of history of Super Sentai, as in the member of the Kaka Rangers, yet another Super Sentai warrior. Is this really fate? I take it that you 2 are the friends of May. Jiraiya asked a question which shocked both boys. Wait, how do you know her? Hoji asked, already suspicious at Jiraiya's words of knowing May. Yeah, we're her friends, Taku nodded, confirming Jiraiya's question. I am Taku, Mrs. Tomasu Hoji, Hoji said. You can call me Hoji. Taku and Hoji, I see, Jiraiya said. You ask why I know May? I met her, and she's in danger. In danger? Taku said, shocked Jiraiya's statement. Well, it's like this. Jiraiya then started telling what he knew about May and the Onibaba that captured her. So you were saying May got kidnapped by the Onibaba and she's about to get cooked this morning? Taku reiterated what Jiraiya said, in which he nodded. Ah yes, repeating so the audience can hear. One of the worst dramatic jokes of all time. We've got no time. Lead the way, Jiraiya, Hoji said. We've got to save her. Leave it to me. Jiraiya said in English, which somehow surprised Hoji. That's some perfect accent. Is he American? Wait up! Taku suddenly stopped the two from running off. His voice suddenly turned rather stern. Before we go, there's something out of dress. What now, Taku? Hoji said. Hoji, do you realize what you've done and what you're trying to do? Taku continued. His voice suddenly became rather angry. I hope you're ready. What's with that tone of voice? Hoji asked, confused with how Taku was suddenly feeling hostile. There's a was missing there. And ready for what? For this! As Taku stepped back, he suddenly punched Hoji on the face, knocking him on the ground. What was that for? Hoji said angrily, moving his face. Are you picking a fight with me? Think again, Tamasu Hoji! Taku yelled, referring Hoji with his full name. Didn't that be referring to Hoji? Do you know why May was caught? How am I supposed to know? Hoji replied back, over what Jiraiya said about only Baba's planning. Think of what you've done to her. Taku pointed at Hoji, causing him to rethink of what she's done to her. Of course remembered that of was unnecessary. Yeah, I know, I don't believe her history, Hoji said. But really, why should we wasting our time debating on this? We need to be swapped. If we don't hurry, and in case we save her, he's still going to nag on wanting proof about the truth of her history. Taku said, "This is exactly why May left and got kidnapped in the first place. I want to prevent this to happen again." Shouldn't that be I want to prevent this from happening again? How can you come up with that conclusion? Hoji asked, hoping that Taku wasn't drawing things out of thin air. Remember last time she went to sleep, Taku said. She was so annoyed at you not believing her past. I know. Taku, you can't be serious. Hoji shook his head. You really started believing that dinosaurs coexisted with humans? What did your history teacher taught you? Yeah, exactly like you learned too. For now, I don't give a crap about that. Taku brushed off Hoji's reasoning. You really need such scientific proof to assure friendship? It's no measurement tool. Taku, Hoji uttered, realizing that Taku did have a point. Who cares if it turns out dinosaurs indeed coexisted with humans? May's story may be hard to digest, but I trust her nonetheless. Taku made his point stand. We fought together for a common cause before, and we may as well again. And in the future, in this bizarre world, may each other's strengths, yet you, Hoji, still have time to cloud your judgment with such a necessary thing. She's also a member of the Super Sentai and has fought against evil before. Oh, are you telling me that her allies, the Jew Rangers, are a bunch of lies as well? Hoji was shocked hearing it. He remembered that the reason he made it that far as a Deca Ranger was because he has his bond with his friend. Taku was right, the world as of now is rather bizarre. The unexpected may happen, and without his old friends he had to make a new bond if he was to survive, and he has refused to create a strong bond with May due to doubting her stated history and the history he learned when he was a kid. Remembered what his friend Ban would usually do. Sometimes rules can be broken if it was to achieve a greater good. You got me, Takeru. Hoji nodded, his face showing a tingle of regret. Maybe I was wrong all this time. I really shouldn't mistrust May. I knew her voice was the voice of someone who wouldn't lie, but I was so stuck up with the history I learned that I found it hard to believe in her. You're right, she's still a Super Sentai warrior, and that alone speaks a lot for her commitment to fight evil no matter what. I shouldn't have belittled it. Sometimes Hoji, Taku said, his voice less angered after learning that Hoji finally understood the right thing. You have to let go of what you learned in the past. You don't always have to follow the book. As a police in Megalopolis maybe, but right now you're you. There's no book to follow other than your heart. Heart, Hoji noted again. Deep in his heart he did acknowledge May as a sweet, gentle and kind girl who was also strong-hearted and was honestly good-hearted. And suddenly he felt an urge. He has to admit that he's been a jerk to her and wanted to apologise. Very well, I'm going. And after this, I will apologise and put the history stuff to rest. That's more like it. Taku smiled as he tapped the old soldier. Guys, Jiraiya suddenly reminded him. Shouldn't we hurry ahead? Look, the sun is almost rising. Ah crap, we really have no time to waste now. Taku realised what's going on, prepared to go. That one was an important legging, so I don't think we waste any time. Hoji nodded and turned to Jiraiya. Lead the way, Jiraiya. Alright, but are you going to be okay? Jiraiya asked. We're fighting yokai, you know. Well, what you saw was an unfortunate event for us. Taku gave a small laugh, remembering how Jiraiya was the one who saved the two of him doing all the work. But it won't happen again. We can fight on our own. Come on, let's go. With finally nothing else needed to be said, Jiraiya ran forward, leading Taku and Hoji to the house of Onibaba, where May was being held prisoner. They made it to the staircases leading to Onibaba's house. After going up the stairs, they hid behind the bushes. They arrived at the house's field, where a giant frying pan was located. surrounding it were wood, which could be burnt any time to fry anything on the pan, and leaning at the centre of the pan was May, still with her body bound, and apparently the only Baba has reapplied the gag on her mouth again. Those bastards, doing things like that to a girl, Hody whispered, looking at May's situation. He had the urge to just rush and save her, but he kept it down, hoping that there would be an opening. Wait, look at that face, Taku noted, pointing at May's apparently calm face, lacking the semblance of a distressed face. At May, her face showed that she might have something up her sleeve. Yes, she still keeps herself strong. What is the facade to fool those yokai? Hoji asked. Don't know. We should also keep to ourselves and not lose focus, right, Jiraiya? I heard Taku whisper while turning to Jiraiya. However, he was no longer there. Wait a minute, where the hell is Jiraiya? Lower your voice, Hoji insisted, still whispering. Don't worry about him, he's a ninja. He must have a trick up his sleeve. Right, Taku remembered he also used to have a ninja as a friend and was familiar with some ninja tricks, even if he couldn't execute them. Okay, keep watching. From the other side, however, there was another figure hiding behind several walls. It was a girl holding a digital camera. This is really a bizarre thing. To this day they still make up sacrifices? She says he tried to have a sneak peek. I should take note of this. Maybe they're right about them being back. She says she pulled her camera and aimed at May, eventually catching a picture of her. Only to remember she forgot to put the camera's blitz on. I know nothing about photography in detail. Can someone explain what that means? Oh no, who's there? Only Baba learned about the weird cam light and turned to the girl. Get her! Commanded Bedordos gave chase to the girl. Why didn't you just turn them into more Oni? I gotta get out of here! The girl eventually ran off. She dropped something from her pocket, but she didn't really care about that for a moment and concentrated on running off. I wonder if she's going to be okay. May took a glance on the running girl and hoped that she'll be okay. Just a little bit more. Well, I suppose she will be, otherwise this whole thing will just be a big-lipped alligator moment. Chance! Taku saw Dorodos chasing the girls, a chance to finally strike out. Along with Hoji, got an attack remained Dorodos. Taku! Hoji! May was glad she saw the two arriving to help. I knew you'd come. What the? Yeah! Only Baba was surprised when she saw both boys attacking her men. You're only Baba, right? Taku says he punched away Dorodos' soldier. You set that snake last night. I'll make sure you pay for that. You killed an 899 innocent people, and worst of all, you're going to turn our friend to your 100th meal. Hoji says he shot down several Dorodos and punched one. Unforgivable. There's no need for a judgment for you. Such crime already warrants deletion. How do they know the full details? Jiraiya learned nothing. So, you're her friend, aren't you? Only Baba says she opened her mouth, sending off blasts to both Taku and Hoji, although they managed to dodge. She then pointed at May. But first then was unnecessary as the rest of the Dorodos surround her. Don't forget that I have a hostage. You really wanted to die this instant? Bastard! Even if we leave, you'll eat her instead. Taku says he got up. When he looked at May, she was nodding, telling him to keep with it. You think we don't know that? Hoji said, also recognizing May's gesture. Best she die by our hands rather than get eaten by a monster like you. You're really two gutsy boys, aren't you? Only Baba said. She started gathering energy from her mouth. Very well, in that case, before only Baba could fire a blast to May, she felt like something was tapping her shoulders from her back. Hey! When Only Baba turned behind, she was suddenly met with a fist to her face. A puncher being Jiraiya, he used his ninpo skills to stay undetected, balancing his ninja toe. I think, and also about the typo or something. Jiraiya engaged in a battle against the Oni Baba. Eventually, after just 2 rounds, Jiraiya delivered a flurry of slashes, which cut the majority of Oni Baba's wild hair. Now that looks nice for a yokai like you. Jiraiya jokingly commented now the yokai was nearly bald. My beautiful hair! You cut my hair! Only Baba screamed anger. She also brandished her long claws. The second she was unnecessary. Now, at that very moment, May felt like the ropes binding her had been rather loose and felt rather weak. Gathering all her strength, she managed to snap the ropes binding her arms and body. It worked, just as I thought, she thought happily as she moved the gag from her mouth out and also snapped the ropes that bound her legs. Getting up, May then ran towards the Oni Baba, leapt and delivered a kick while letting out an attack yell which she had been denied for long. She managed to realise that May was trying to attack her and blocked her kick with her nails. For some reason her nails were weakened. That one kick managed to break down several of her nails. Yeah, why is that? You! How did you? Onibaba cursed, seeing May has been freed by herself until she knows her nails. My nails! You broke my beautiful nails! Damn you! Reason why she hated high-pitched voice was because her nails were quite sensitive towards such voice. There's an A missing, that it would weaken them. Now, they broke. Well, let me tell you then, May says he kicks an incoming Doro soldier and eventually reuniting with Taku, Hoji and Jiraiya. I found out that your ropes are not normal ones. More I struggle and panic, the more it bound me tightly. Keep my heart and mind clear and focused on... Oh, because your ropes for some reason would loosen itself and got weakened. The point of breaking is like snapping one twig. In other words, you should have used a normal rope instead. Bleh! As May finished, she playfully stuck her tongue to taunt me Onibaba. Boy, after being gagged all night, that sure felt good. Wow, to keep your calm and present that long even you know you're going to get eaten is an impressive feat. Hope said, thanks, May said smiling. So, you're not? Back and wait later, Taku says he stepped forward. Now it's our turn to lay some beat down. Let's go. Okay, both Hoji and May noisily prepared to stand roll. Aura mask, red mask, emergency, Deca Ranger, face on, Dino Buckler! In instant, the three transformed and declared their names shortly afterwards. Red mask, pursue mysterious cases, Deca Blue, Terror Ranger, May, why you? Wait a minute, Onibaba remained unfazed as he pulled out something. Jiraiya's device that he's been looking for. Hey you ninja, you want this right? If you still want it. Before she could say anything else, Jiraiya instead threw a shuriken to the device and exploded at Onibaba's hand. That was a dumb move on her part. What? But you mean this? Jiraiya said as he showed his own device. I've got it already, and just so you'd not feel something wrong, I replaced it with an explosive replica. Bet you're flabbergasted, Bat. You little! Onibaba cursed. But you'll never beat me. I still have an ace on my hand. And, oh yeah? Me too. It's my turn, Jiraiya said to help a device from the out. Super Henge, Doran Changer. After saying such words, Jiraiya transformed into his hero form. A ninja clad in black suit, one of the Kaka Rangers. Ninja Black, Jiraiya. So you're Jiraiya of the Kaka Rangers, Deku tried to confirm. Huh? I don't know where you get the information about the Kaka Ranger, but Ninja Black says he do his own. Destroying this yokai comes first. Agreed. Red Mask nodded, and the four Super Sentai warriors ran forward to attack the Oni. Red Mask nodded, and the four Super Sentai warriors ran forward to attack the Onibaba. Retaliating, Onibaba used her potion to transform the Doro soldiers into a fearsome Oni soldiers to fight against them. As Red Mask and Deca Blue did not know the weakness of the Oni, they had a bit of trouble fighting them. Guys, stand back! Ninja Black told the rest. The team fell back and filled the ground full of Makibishis. Shuriken stuck to the ground. The Oni stepped up them, most of them killed in pain, some revealing their weak spots behind the head. There, aim there, got it! Red Mask says he unleashed his laser magnum, and Deca Blue used his SB shooter to shoot down the Oni's weak points and destroy them. You brats! Onibaba cursed the unleashed potion. I can still make more. No you don't! Terra Arrow! Terra Ranger interrupted her action by accurately shooting at the potion, breaking and destroying it. No! No! The Onibaba wailed. In complete defeat, she ran out of options to fight. Blah! In that case, I'll gather all the suffering of the humans and crush you! She then waited, hoping that the cloud would turn dark and grant her a thunder containing the suffering of humans to make her grow bigger. She waited and waited, and the dark cloud never appeared at all. Appear before me! She wailed again. Well, she's lasted, Ninja Black commented. What do you say we finish them off? Very well. Red Mask nodded. He turned to Deca Blue and Terror Ranger. You two, take it back. Then he turned to Ninja Black. What do you prefer, close range or long range? Any would do, Ninja Black nodded. Let's go with close for now. Okay, here we go, Red Mask said as he and Ninja Black ran forward with their swords ready, while Deca Blue and Terror Ranger took shooting positions. Set, D-Sniper, set, charge, strike out, Terror Arrow! In fact, both Deca Blue and Terror Ranger shot down Onibaba with their bullet and arrow respectively, wounded her heavily, before both Red Mask and Ninja Black surrounded her from the front and back. Maski crash, Kakare Ryu, Nagare Boshi. While Red Mask delivered a cross slash, Ninja Black slashed in the shape of a pentagram star. At any rate, both attacks fatal enough that it destroyed the Onibaba. As its spirit flew to the sky and was destroyed, it let out one last wail. If only I could soon be a 100th virgin, I could have achieved immortality. After the ordeal was over, Taku, Hoji and May walked on the forest, beyond through the forest, as their car couldn't be repaired, taking Jiraiya along to find the exit of the forest. Jiraiya also has apologised because he was a figure that distracted Taku's driving to the point that he crashed to the tree in the first place. He was there in the wrong place and time when he was investigating the Oni Baba's location. Before they departed, they had their breakfast by catching fishes on the nearby river. Well, first off, I'm really sorry for troubling you like this, May apologised firsthand. In getting caught like this, stop that. Hoji was the one to stop her, and May was already annoyed at that, thinking that he'd nag her for the same thing again. However, his next words surprised her. I should be the one apologising. All this could have been prevented if I stopped bugging you about your history. Hoji, you mean? She didn't quite know what he was trying to say. I no longer think you're a liar, Hoji said. The credibility of history is second fiddle compared to our teamwork and friendship. May, will you still think of me as a friend? Jesus, there's so many ellipses here. I'm thinking of just reading this in a Bill Shatner voice. He knew that May would at least still be very annoyed. After all, he was quite the jerk towards her. He'd expect a girl like her to be mad and punish him with something, but he's fully prepared since he knew it's his fault. Okay, I'll stop now. However, May only held his hand and smiled. I always trust you as a friend. Thank you. Oh, Hoji smiled back. Well, it looks like they finally reconcile. As the demissing, Taku was walking to Jiraiya, commenting he witnessed Jiraiya Hoji apologising. But this journey will be less heavy to bear. I'm glad for you. Jiraiya commented, smiling. By the way, what are you gonna do now? Taku asked Jiraiya. Me? I don't know, but I get the feeling whenever I stick with you guys, I might be able to reunite my friends. Jiraiya said, reminded that he's the only Kaku Ranger remaining while the rest has gone missing. Well, that's good then, Taku smiled. Yet another Super Sentai warrior was separated from their teammates. Why, is that a good thing? Taku hoped to help them reunite their friends and perhaps heal as well. By the way, Jiraiya says he pulled out something from a pocket. I picked this up from that fleeing girl. It was a card-like device. What's this? Taku was confused looking at the device. It was actually a memory card used for digital cameras, but since digital cameras, let alone memory card storage devices, weren't in his era, he didn't know about it. Looks like a memory card for a digital camera. Hoji took a look at it. There's no A there, and there's the letter C on it. Maybe that girl's name has C for its first letter. I hope she's okay, May noted until she finally saw a town beyond the forest. Look over there, guy. Right, we made it out. Oh great, Taku said. Maybe we could get some decent food over there. Maybe we'd find the sea girl in that town, Hoji commented. Perfect. By the way, Hoji, Jiraiya suddenly commented, you're not a native American, are you? What? Hoji suddenly turned to Jiraiya. I'm saying that your English needs some work, Jiraiya said. Foreigners could easily laugh at you with such broken English phrases. Hey, that was low, Hoji protested, annoyed at someone finally criticising how he spoke English. So what's that English phrase you said to me for? Jiraiya asked, mind how he spelled thank you just gratuitously reading the katakana of the word. Are you just trying to act cool? Oh, shut up! Hoji said in annoyance to stop the discussion he didn't want to participate in. He didn't want to discuss about his lifestyle. Jiraiya protested further. There you go again. Are you just trying to look cool? Of course I'm not mad if you're doing it, he said. But really I'm just protecting you from ridicules that you may attract from foreigners. If you want, I can teach you a proper way to use it. Jiraiya, stop that. I'm fine as is. Hoji eventually turned towards Jiraiya, rather annoyed, and they ended up arguing. Somehow I think that Hoji's troubles are not over. May consciously looked at how Hoji argued with Jiraiya just after he let go of her history's credibility. Now someone reprimanded him of the usage of English phrases. Yeah, the grammar's a bit all over the place in this fic. Well, he'll get over it somehow. Aku reassured us before continuing their journey heading to town. Which it looked familiar enough to them. What do they find here? Right now, another Sentai warriors joined the entourage and they set their sights onto this new town which looked familiar enough to them. What will they find there? To be continued. Author's note, yep, our next Sentai warrior is Kaku Ranger's Jiraiya. Should be a good contrast between actual English speaking Jiraiya and gratuitous English speaking Hoji. Also apologise if what happened to May offends some of you. It doesn't portray my view on women in general. At any rate, it's like I spilled the spoils for the next person who's going to appear next. Let's see, let us see. Use a camera. Not so it's ringing any bells. Oh, maybe I need to call my local rocket company. Still, I hope you stay tuned. Thanks. See you later. Anyway, that was another fairly decent chapter. After I didn't think it was particularly offensive to anyone. Anyway, join us next time for our next hero, and I'm pretty sure you can guess who it is from the hints he dropped. See you then.